Welcome to another episode of 3D Boxing Podcast. We are on the alternate channel, Texas Boxing Scene, because it relates to a Texas fighter. We'll be back later today with a second show. We'll get into Devin Haney and Jorge Linares. But for this show, we want to get into two guys who have been rumored with Hector Tanajara. Big news out of San Antonio, Texas. Big news out of the 210. Undefeated lightweight phenom Hector Tanajara will return on July 9th on the Jojo Diaz versus Javier Fortuna card. And he will take on William Zepeda, another Golden Boy prospect, in what should be a good fight. There was misreported. It was reported by others that it was Jose Zepeda, the junior lightweight, who fought Kendall Castanedo, who just fought Hank Lundy last week. And that he was going to come back on a month and a half or whatever it was notice. That's not true. It's not Jose Zepeda. It's William Zepeda. So that was interesting. We saw William Zepeda on a Ring City USA card. The fight makes more sense because both guys are in the same weight class. But it's good to get Hector Tanajara back. If you listen to the show, if you watch the podcast, me and my co-host on MCR Radio vehemently disagree on who would win between Hector Tanajara and Devin Haney. Hector Tanajara has skills for days. He's sharp as can be. He does so many things really well. He's been out of the ring for almost a year and a half now. He hasn't fought since he fought Burgos. Y'all can say what you want against Burgos. Burgos almost beat Xavier Martinez a week or two ago. Then Tanajara handled him way better than Devin Haney did. He gave Devin Haney trouble, and Tanajara dominated him 12 rounds, beat him up, hurt him several times, just didn't get him out. Did everything else that he could do. He's got the win over Gutierrez, who's now a world champion. Hector Tanajara has a really, really, really strong resume. For having a limited amount of fights, he turned pro, I believe, in 2015. He skipped out on the Olympic trials, went straight to the pros. But this is a kid who gets overlooked. And there's an article on Fight Post, and there's an article on 3 Boxing Black, if you look it up, on Hector Tanajara, how he's the overlooked guy of the lightweight prospects. I talked to Clay Burns, who fought. You've seen Clay Burns on Top Ranks cards and stuff, who's fought both, they call him third-degree burns, Tanajara and Devin Haney. I asked him who was better, Tanajara or Devin Haney. Without hesitation, he said Tanajara. His skills are way too sharp. That's what we have here. We have a guy who, look, he may not wow you like some of the other lightweights wow you, right? You look at some of the other lightweights, you have Teofimo Lopez with all-world athleticism, all-world power. Ryan Garcia with all-world power. They get these sensational knockouts, right? You got Devin Haney, who's a next-level athlete. But they aren't as finely tuned. They aren't as skilled as Hector Tanajara. Hector Tanajara does everything well, except he doesn't have pop, right? You look at the little things that he does, the way he creates distance, the way he keeps you at range. He paws at you. His height and his reach is typically going to be an advantage. And he uses that. He fights tall. He keeps you at range. He keeps you at a distance. His jab is lightning quick. He throws laser-like right hands behind it. He throws a lead left hook that's good. He has come a long, long, long way in a short amount of time. I think he beats Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia ducked him. We can say what we want. Ryan Garcia openly ducked him. Said he wasn't interested in the fight. His half of the contract was signed. Oscar wanted to make the fight. Tanajara wanted to make the fight. Oscar had the contract. Tanajara signed it. Ryan Garcia didn't sign it and decided to fight nobody instead. So we can say what we want. But Ryan Garcia ducked him because this guy's really hard to beat, and you're not going to look good against him. He's lightning quick with his jab. He's hard to hit. It's just the little subtle head movements, the pivots, the angles. His footwork is phenomenal. He doesn't stay in front of you. He hits you from long range, pivots out of the way so that you can't return and counter him. He's going to be tough for anyone to beat. The only question is anyone willing to fight him? I talked to him last year before the pandemic, before the Burgos fight, and he said he planned on fighting Haney and Garcia that year. Crazy thing happens. Everything got pushed off. Ryan Garcia then decides that he doesn't want to fight him. Then Tanajara gets a fight with Fortuna. That fight falls apart. I mean, there's a fight with Hector. That fight fell apart. He got sick. Tanajara got sick. So many things happened. And he's been pushed out of the ring for this reason, that reason. But he's finally set to return. And we're going to see those skills. The skills he has are phenomenal, right? There's no questioning it. He is so sharp. His reflexes are so good. His fundamentals and his skills are as good as anyone in the division. And that's a division that has Vasily Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez. I'm not overstating it. It's not like the power may become an issue at some point. It's not an issue right now because he can outbox any of these guys for days. So look, and he doesn't stand in front of you, right? Like, can you argue that at some point, he could face someone where the power becomes an issue? It could happen, but he's got world championship skills, and he will be a world champion just based on his skill. Now, can he beat anyone or anyone? There could be someone he comes across at some point where the power is an issue. I don't see that happening soon. It's not Devin Haney. Devin Haney can't crack that much either. He'll outbox Ryan Garcia all day, right? Like if you think about Luke Campbell, Hector Tanajara is a super Luke Campbell, so he'll just outbox him. As far as William Zepeda, his opponent, he's fought mostly in Mexico. He fought, like I said, in Wild Card, the Wild Card Boxing Series, the Ring City USA. He fought Roberto Ramirez and stopped him. It's really the only time we've seen him in the U.S., which is why you know the name. And again, it's William Zepeda, not Jose Zepeda, which was originally reported. Obviously, this fight makes a lot more sense. And then hopefully, when Hector wins this fight, then he could fight Fortuna next. Or if Jojo Diaz wants to go to 35, he could do that, right? But this is a big win for him. This is a big fight for him. It's going to be great to have him back. It's going to be great to see him again. Again, the skill set, he is so sharp. He's so fundamentally good. His angles, the way he judges distances, the way his timing, the way he keeps you at a distance, the way he sets you up, but he hits you and gets out of the way so you can't possibly hit him is really, really, really high-level stuff. And he's been slept on, but his skills are as good as anyone in the division, and that's a heck of a division. Let me know what you guys think. Please like and subscribe to Texas Boxing Scene. All proceeds go to autism research and recovery. So help us get this monetized as quickly as possible. From Texas to the world, thank you, and God bless.
Don't miss a tweet, post, story, or video. 3D Boxing is on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Hit the subscribe button now to stay inside the ring.